Up next on Connections. Cubs and Sox fans are taking the red line to their favorite field and getting a bonus on the trip. We'll visit the lakefront and Lincoln Park Zoo on Jeanne's journey. We'll show you progress on the Blue Line Signal project. You'll meet 2 signal maintainers new to the rodeo competition. And you'll see why Bus Tracker is more convenient than ever. The CTA, working hard to improve, committed to quality and its riders. Welcome to Connections. The CTA, delivering quality, affordable transit that links people, jobs, and communities. I'm Jeanne Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Every year, Sox and Cubs fans get a special gift for taking the red line to the Crosstown Classic. Artist Steve Musgrave is proud to be part of this tradition.
In 1998, a friend of mine was involved in the Adopt a Station program at the Belmont L Station, and he knew I was a big baseball fan and I'd done a bunch of paintings of baseball players, and he suggested that I contact the CTA about adopting the Addison Station right next to Wrigley Field. And I did a series of 4 large paintings that are still there now, and that kind of got me noticed by the CTA.
For 11 years now, Steve Musgrave has been designing the commemorative posters and fare cards for the Crosstown Classic.
We try to make them different, but we also like to make them look like they're of a series. So every year I just come up with a bunch of different ideas of players making plays, or pitchers, or we try to mix it up. If there was a pitcher last year, we try to do a batter, or we try to do a fielder or something like that. We work out the poster, and then the fare card will work itself out. Because the fare card is such a narrow vertical format, it takes a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, it's sort of a reconfiguration of the poster.
Posters are distributed to riders arriving at the Red Line Station serving the game, beginning 90 minutes before each Cubs-Sox game, and will be handed out as long as supplies last. This year's series will take place at Wrigley Field June 16th through 18th, and at U.S. Cellular Field June 26th through 28th. The commemorative fare cards are available beginning June 1st and while supplies last.
Every year I help distribute posters before the game, and usually I do it at Wrigley because I'm so close. And one year I couldn't make it at Wrigley, so I went down to U.S. Cellular, and it took no time to get there. So I'm a big proponent of taking the L to the games.
Fans can take the red line to either field, and there are buses readily available for all of the games. And now, whether you cheer for the Cubs or the Sox, you can have a little piece of Chicago history when you take the red line.
Some people are clearly collecting them, and I've had people ask me, if they find out that I'm the designer, they'll tell me, oh, I'm giving these to my nephew, and they've painted the kid's room based on the color scheme in your posters, which amazes me. Some people go out of their way to find them and are looking for them, it's nice. I mean, it is, at this point, it's been 11 or 12 years, so it's sort of a tradition, which is wonderful.
Don't forget to pick up your commemorative transit card during the month of June. You can also check out transitchicago.com for all the Crosstown Classic game schedules. Rail operators depend on signals to operate CTA trains. With the new signal system on the Blue Line, customers will notice fewer delays due to signals.
The original signal system in the Dearborn subway was commissioned in the early 1950s, and it had reached the end of its useful lifespan.
The Blue Line Signal Project is from Forest Park to Jefferson Park on the Blue Line. The current system's over 50 years old, and this new system allows for more efficient operation of CTA trains in that area.
The old wayside block signals that you would see along the tracks are being replaced with a new in-train cab signal system that conveys stop and go signals to the operator right in the cab of the train. The signal system does two things. It spaces trains a proper distance apart, and it enforces speed restrictions at curves.
The project also includes upgrades of the traction power cables.
Those cables carry the power to the third rail and allow for the operation of the train.
The signal replacement has been going on since December of 2005 and is almost complete. It's a complex project spanning 20 miles of track. Work is being done at night and on weekends to minimize impact on customers.
The contractor has completed all of the heavy work and is in the process right now of decommissioning the old signal system.
For this project, we're focusing primarily on night work to avoid customer impacts.
The signal project completion comes just in time to start work on the track replacement project in the Blue Line subway.
By phasing them that way, the new signal system allows us to have single tracks for the Dearborn subway tire replacement program or any other maintenance that's required in the subway much more efficiently than the old signal system.
So the new signals are already helping service operate more smoothly.
This increases reliability and also operational performance for the CTA.
This signal system is a CTA infrastructure project designed to achieve and maintain a state of good repair. Just ahead on Connections, show off your CTA knowledge. So why is it easier to take CTA than to drive?
Well, taking the CTA is way cheaper because it's only $225 a ride, and
it's faster.
Right, it's faster,
Yeah.
and cars the gas is really expensive.
I like the environmental friendliness of taking public transportation.
It's eco-efficient. That's what I really like. I'm Go Green.
I live right off the Blue Line. It's really convenient to me.
It leaves me right downtown without having to pay parking fees, and I have to pay gas or worry about traffic.
And just parking and driving is just a hassle, so I prefer the CDA.
All of the gas is so much, even though it went down a little bit, but I love CC. I'm from Chicago, so I love it.
On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.7 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and the 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access system maps, bus and train schedules, and service updates. You can even use the Google Trip Planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code. Combining technology and teamwork while delivering dependable, affordable transit. I'm Jeanne Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. How do those big buses turn around at the end of the route? You'll find out in this month's Transit Terms.
Most literally, as the name implies, it provides a place for the bus to turn around at the end of the line. It also provides a place to have the bus take its layover or recovery time before it starts in the opposite direction. And having a bus turnaround, such as the one behind us, means buses do not have to turn around on side streets around the block.
CTA has more than 100 bus turnarounds at the end of many bus routes. Why is it that sometimes you'll see drivers waiting around at a bus turnaround?
When a bus gets to the end of the line, to make sure he's on time before he goes in the opposite direction, CTA builds in a time of perhaps 5 minutes or 10 minutes for the bus to sit so that he leaves on time. This also provides an opportunity for the operator to check the bus for any lost belongings, and also provides opportunity for washroom time for the operator.
Many of the off-street turnarounds were created when the streetcars were discontinued in the 40s and 50s. Because many streetcars literally stopped at the end of the track in the middle of the street, the motorman changed ends, like on the L, and went back. Buses need to have space to turn around. Be sure to call the Connections hotline at 312-681-2812 with all your transit term questions. We've been watching more routes being added every month, and now every regularly scheduled CTA bus route is available on bustracker.com.
Bus Tracker is a great way for customers to get information about bus arrival and bus location information. So you go to the CTABusTracker.com website, and there are two options, basically two ways to view information. One is to look at arrival estimates, so you can select your route and your direction of travel and your stop, and you will get information about when the next several buses are estimated to arrive at the stop. The other view is a map or a location view of all the buses on the routes that you've selected. So you can actually see where the bus is coming and go into more detail and actually get the same arrival predictions that you would on the other view.
Bus Tracker is fast becoming an invaluable asset to customers. It's so easy to go on CTABusTracker.com and check when your bus will arrive.
In May, we were excited to launch all of our regularly scheduled routes. So now we are up to 149 bus routes that are available in CTA Bus Tracker. And so that was the completion of the rollout that we began back in April of 2008. That's available to anyone who has a PC, a laptop, or a desktop. Folks who have web-enabled mobile devices like a PDA, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, for example, can also go and access it on their device. And a new feature that we just launched last month is email subscriptions. So you can actually go to the website, create an account, and set up email alerts for your selected stop and route.
The email alerts will give customers even more information to plan their travel.
The great thing about email subscriptions is that if you have a regular pattern of commuting, you can now get an email sent to you at specific times that will give you predictions for your bus route and bus stop. If you know your bus is coming in 1 minute versus if it's coming in 5 minutes, well, in the latter situation, you could go run and get a newspaper or do another errand or work another few minutes at the office before heading out to your stop.
And there are even more technological advances in the future.
One upcoming feature that will be arriving later this summer is text messaging, which is a pilot program. This allows folks who don't necessarily have a web-enabled smartphone or PDA, but just a regular old cell phone with text messaging capabilities to basically make a request, put in their 5-digit bus stop number, and then the system will send a text message back giving the next 2 arrival predictions. So it's another way of really getting the information to our customers so they can plan again their time.
Now, no matter what bus stop you're waiting at, you can check to see when the next bus will arrive. Up and down, up and down. You probably don't think much about them, but escalators are an important part of many CTA stations.
We're replacing the escalators with new ones due to the age of them. They're well beyond their useful life, and they're also very costly to maintain because of how old they are. Obviously, by having new escalators, maintenance for those old escalators is no longer required as frequently, and we can focus on other escalators in the system.
Escalators receive a lot of wear and tear over the years. Some of the escalators being replaced were between 30 and 65 years old. CTA has made the decision to replace the escalators rather than continuing with costly maintenance.
We removed the old escalator in its entirety and bring in an entirely brand new escalator.
9 escalators throughout the red and blue line subways are being replaced. The Red Line escalators include 1 each at Harrison and Jackson Van Buren, 2 at Adams Jackson, and 3 at Monroe Adams. Blue Line escalators include 1 each at Randolph Washington and Madison Monroe.
While we're replacing the escalators with new ones, obviously they take some time to do that, so we do have to barricade the work area, remove the old one, put the new one in. So for some time, customers will have to use a different means to get to the platform or to the mezzanine while that one's under construction. We put signage on the barricades that announce that and before we start, that the escalator is going to be down for a period of time while we do a replacement. And there is always another means of egress to and from the platform and the mezzanines.
Impact on customers during construction will be minimal. The escalator project is just one more way CTA is modernizing the system.
Once the new escalators are in, it will improve passenger flow through the stations to get from the platforms to the mezzanine and up to the street level faster.
CTA will continue to keep customers informed about escalator construction as it happens. Still to come, we'll visit the lakefront and Lincoln Park Zoo on Jeanne's journey.
Max, are you in here?
Turn off the lights.
Sorry.
I'm saving energy, helping the environment.
Where are you?
Make a left. No, the other left. My pizza box collection.
Ow!
Hey, I don't have a cat. Watch out for the...
Max, there's an easier way to help the environment, and it won't be such a pain in the neck.
Take public transportation. Go green. Go public. A message from the public transportation systems across the country.
Missed an episode of Connections? Want to find an address or a link featured? Then go to the Connections website. There are several ways to find it.
Go to www.transitchicago.com and click on Connections. Or visit the Connections website at podcastchicago.tv and click the Connections link to find the most recent episodes. You can watch episodes online for instant viewing, or you can subscribe with your favorite podcasting tool and automatically download new shows each month. Like all video podcasts, Connections can be viewed directly on your computer or laptop, or can be viewed on a portable media player, such as the Video iPod. Connect online with Connections at podcastchicago.tv. The word connection, a link or a spark that brings people together. I'm Jeanne Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. It was such a beautiful day, I decided to start this month's Jeanne's journey from the lakefront. Take a little walk, enjoy the sights, and go down to the zoo. But I didn't plan so great, because these shoes are not going to make it all the way to the zoo, so I'm going to take the bus. Right after I figure out how to get my feet in the water. Okay, maybe not. Chicago has almost 30 miles of lakefront to enjoy, and it's easy to get to any part of it using CTA. Call an 836-7000 from any area code to find out what bus I need to take from here to get to Lincoln Park Zoo. And you know, I was out here thinking, why doesn't CTA just add some boats to the fleet? I mean, CTA Boat Tracker would sound great. Hello? Hey, I'm trying to get from Belmont Harbor to Lincoln Park Zoo. What bus line do I take to do that? The 151, and I catch it where? Sheridan Belmont, right across Lakeshore Drive. Thanks a lot. Okie doke, let's go. Both the 151 Sheridan and the 156 LaSalle buses stop at Lincoln Park Zoo. The 22 Clark and 36 Broadway buses are great options too. They stop only 1 block west of the zoo. Lincoln Park Zoo is world-renowned for its conservation research work. Plus, it's one of the few free zoos left in the country.
Well, we made it. Quick and easy, and most importantly, pain-free, because my little toesies don't hurt. And you know, Lincoln Park's pretty cool. It doesn't only have the zoo, but it also has the nature museum. There's a very cool farmer's market a couple days a week. You should check it out. Now, let's go check out the animals. Lincoln Park Zoo is open year-round and holds various events for kids of all ages. He's ignoring me even here. Thanks so much for joining me on this month's Jeanne's Journey. I hope you'll try it out for yourself. And join us next time for another fun, cool trip through the city using the CTA. Up next, sounds and lights of the CTA. On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.7 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and the 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access system maps, bus and train schedules, and service updates. You can even use the Google Trip Planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code. Getting from here to there quickly, easily, and without breaking the bank. I'm Jeanne Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Lots of people wonder just what those beeps and lights mean when they pay their CTA fare. Now, here's an in-depth look at all the mystery lights and sounds.
This is actually the fare collection testing cage. Here we have a piece of every single fare equipment that we have out in the system. We have turnstiles, vending machines, fare boxes, and we run the tests here for any type of software changes or any type of hardware or retrofits.
On occasion, CTA employees are asked, so what does that beep mean anyway? Today, we'll solve the mystery.
The information that we hear as far as the noises and the signs are basically for the operator or the customer assistants. But as far as the customer, it should just be as easy as touching and just entering. We also have different signs for the operators to say whether a card needs value or a card's rejected for whatever reason, or information as far as expiration date. So all that information is available at certain equipment.
Beeps and lights mean different things on buses and rail. We'll take a look at a bus fare box first. Most people know that you'll hear one beep for a transit card or Chicago card, and that means go ahead and get on the bus. But what about those extra beeps?
You can ask the bus operator that you want to check the value on your card. So press the button, it'll say read only. Once you touch it, it will show you the remaining value and transfer eligibility. And that's where you hear 2 beeps. Next to 3 beeps is anytime you use a Chicago Card Plus, you'll see the remaining value is 0, but it's an account-based card, so the value is not on the card, but the transfer eligibility is, so it keeps track during your trips. And the final beeps that you hear is 6 beeps, which indicates invalid. It could either be for a smart card, a Chicago Card Plus, or a transit card. If it says invalid, you'll hear 6 beeps.
Okay, that clears up bus beeps. But what about at the rail station?
Anytime they place a card into the turnstile, you basically hear 2 different types of beeps, barely noticeable to the customer. One is a beep, another one's what we call a warble.
Again, one beep means go through. What else will customers see?
If you go to the turnstile and you don't have enough money on the card, what you'll see is you hear the beep, but on the display you'll see it say add value at the AVM, and tells you how much money you have on the card. So at this point, you need to pull out the card, go to an AVM, add value, and come back. When you use the Chicago card at the turnstile and it doesn't have enough value, as soon as you touch it, you'll hear a warble, but you'll see at your display exactly your condition where you have to add value at the AVM. At the rail station, you'll also see the top lights go on. This is just an indicator for our customer assistants to tell who's going through the turnstile. And we also have passenger information units. This unit shows the expiration date of Chicago Card, Chicago Card Plus. All you have to do is touch the target, and you'll see at the display the actual expiration date of the card.
I bet you'll never look at those fare machines the same way again. This month's rodeo winners help keep CTA signals working around the clock.
Not to overstate it, but it's all about safety. The equipment we work on, it controls where the trains go, how fast to go, when to stop, when to go.
They do their maintenance in a timely fashion. They also respond to any emergency that might arise.
We do switch maintenance, trip maintenance, go out, check the audio frequencies that the trains themselves pick up that govern their speed.
Bob and Mike are part of a crew of over 100 CTA signal maintainers. You might not see them when you get on a train, but they are an important part of your ride.
So important to the customers. While we're doing our job, our main concern not only safety, it's also keeping train moving. And from a customer point of view, that's what they see.
Okay. You got track circuit DR5 523?
Yes, sir. Favorite part of the job is variety. I like getting outside. We have a lot of days where the weather's nice and we enjoy it, and it helps us to tolerate the bad weather because we get a lot of that.
CTA's Rodeo is a friendly skills competition that allows employees to demonstrate excellence in their jobs. 2008 was the first year the signal maintainers competed.
We had simulated problems one of our colleagues put in for us. We went out with test equipment, and based on the symptoms, we tried to calculate or determine what exactly was sabotaged to simulate the problem.
In our case in the signal department, it was time. How fast, how quick can they respond to a call? How quickly can they fix a problem and move the train? Any of those problems that we have presented in the rodeo has direct impact on the trains and slowing trains down.
I think it shows guys to show pride in their job. So, you know, you have pride in your job, and, you know, you go out there and you do your job and everything runs smoothly. It's kind of like a pat on your own back. So that way it works, the customers will be happier too because they're getting to where they need to faster.
What they did that day is not out of the usual. Day after day, they go out there and that's what they do best.
It's a really good job. It's rewarding, it's challenging, it's fun.
It's employees like Bob and Mike that help keep the CTA running smoothly. Traveling in and around Chicago on the CTA saves you time and money. I'm Jeanne Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. We're always looking for story ideas. Do you have a travel secret you'd like to share or a CTA story you'd like to tell? Give us a call at the Connections Hotline, 312-681-2812. Helping you make your connections, I'm Jeanne Sparrow. Thank you for watching.